Welcome back, and welcome to part 7 of our 7-part series called A Quick Start Guide to the Practice, as I like to affectionately call it, to Recovery Dharma, the Recovery Dharma program, which, if you're not familiar with Recovery Dharma, is a Buddhist approach to recovery from addictions of all kind, whether you're drinking, drugging, and or addicted to harmful behaviors. Recovery Dharma addresses addictions of all kind. So if you'd like to learn more about Recovery Dharma, go to recoverydharma.org. For that, there'll be a link in the description below. Also, if you'd like a free PDF copy of this book, Recovery Dharma Workbook, that'll be included in the description below. But that said, we're finishing up a 7-video series on the practice, where 12-step recovery programs have what's called the steps. In Recovery Dharma, we're encouraged to develop and cultivate what's called the practice. So, in this week, we're going to talk about the last of the 7 principles, continual growth. Continual growth. So what does continual growth mean, and what are its applications to the practice within the Recovery Dharma program? And when in doubt, we go to the book. So the book says, growth. We continue our study of Buddhist practices through reading, listening to... Let me try that again. Growth. We continue our study of Buddhist practices through reading, listening to Dharma talks, visiting and becoming members of recovery and spiritual sanghas, and attending meditation retreats to enhance our understanding, wisdom, and practice, to undertake a lifelong journey of growth and awakening. Yeah, I'm not too good at reading scripts. Have you picked up on that during this series of videos? I am horrible at reading scripts. I'm just not good at it. I'm also not very good at impromptu speaking, if you haven't picked up on that either. So thank you for watching through these 7 videos. If you've gotten to this last one, it's on continual growth. And it's probably one of my favorite principles of the 7 is the concept that the Recovery Dharma program, as wonderful and beautiful and fantastic as it is a guideline and structure for recovery from addictions of all kind, it's really just the beginning of the journey. It's the beginning of a deeper, more fulfilling Buddhist practice. And that for individuals like myself, I'm a big believer that Buddhist practices and principles by themselves are enough to get and keep us sober for the rest of our lives. I love the Recovery Dharma program. I love this workbook as far as helping outline for people new to recovery and new to a Buddhist approach to recovery to help them find their path through recovery. And a quote that I quote often to people who I work with as a peer support recovery coach is a quote by Jack Kornfield that says, "There are many paths up the mountain, and each of us must find a spiritual tradition that speaks to our heart." And yeah, there's many paths up the mountain. And one of the big ideas of Recovery Dharma program is that there is no one teacher, no one leader, one book or teaching lineage, that this is the beginning of the journey, and that from here you should begin your exploration of Buddhist practices and principles for whatever your recovery journey looks like, because each of us have different causes and conditions as far as what's driving our addictive behavior. Now, more often than not, we have more in common than we have in difference, but the concept of continual growth is the fact that, 9 months from now, a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, it's a concept that we continually commit to the practice, commit to inquiry, we commit to recovery communities of all type, we commit to going to retreats, we commit to, finding out, what else do we need to work on. One of my favorite quotes on, the importance of being a lifelong learner comes from, of all people, Muhammad Ali, I believe, who said something along the lines that if you're the same person at age 40 as you were at age 20, you've wasted 20 years of your life. And I just personally turned 40 years old. And if I'm the same person at age 60 as with the same beliefs and attitudes at age 60 as I am today at age 40, well, then I'll have wasted 20 years of my life. Continual growth is this concept that we continue to read, Buddhist books on practices and principles. We continue to listen to Dharma talks. We continue to attend seminars and meetings. We continue to work with the others. We continue to share on our lives. It's part of the life cycle and life approach. This isn't an end destination of saying, okay, I did my 30 sits in 30 days. I'm recovered. It's not about like, oh, I went to a recovery center for 90 days. I guess I don't have to worry about that alcoholism anymore. Listen, when we start to dig into the causes and conditions, we get to understand that this is a beautiful exploration of the human experience for the rest of our lives. That this is a program of empowerment that it encourages us and inspires us, and we get to inspire others to be our best selves. We get to continually say, where am I living up to my hopes and my aspirations? And where am I falling short? How can I be a better father? How can I be a better brother? How can I be a better neighbor? How can I be a better worker? What is happiness? What is calm? What is peace of mind? Where do I want to be in life? And this concept of continual growth is just admitting to ourselves, to our friends, to our family, and to our community of support that the journey doesn't end, and that's the beauty, is that we can continue to grow. And it's one of the things that I look forward to. I look forward to talking about sharing and practicing these principles 20 years from now. That it's not like, okay, well, you did a year of this, tap out, game over, time to move on to the next thing in life. And it's part of the human experience. It's one of the things I really appreciate about Recovery Dharma. I think the key takeaway, if you're new to recovery, with this being the last video of the Quick Start Guide, is that understand and embrace the concept that it's more than just this book in Recovery Dharma. Okay, like this is a great book, it's a fantastic book, but you need to look at this as the beginning of your journey, not the end of your journey. And I would encourage you that as you've gone, hopefully, to this point in the practice, to continue to explore other Buddhist teachers such as Tara Brach, Jack Kornfield, Sharon Salzberg, Thich Nhat Hanh, Pema Chodron, whoever speaks to your heart, and whoever speaks your language. Because we don't have it's not just one teacher or one teaching lineage. And that's the fun of Recovery Dharma. That's the beauty of it, is that it doesn't encapsulate just in a singular box. If Ram Dass speaks to you, investigate some Ram Dass. We're all just walking each other home, and recovery is just a crazy thing, man. So thank you so much if you did watch all 7 videos in the video series. If you could leave a comment in the comments below. That would just tickle me to death, quite frankly. Get some feedback, preferably positive. So I'm a sensitive person, so feel free to just say, great job, enjoyed the videos, and be like, yay, and I'll try to do better next time. So this series of videos was all shot in a single afternoon. I just figured that putting something out here was better than having nothing out there. If you do not agree with how I approach the practice in the Recovery Dharma program, that's fine, that's great, that's wonderful. I encourage you and I support you to start your own channel and to put some videos of your own together. I would love to see the Recovery Dharma community grow in its social media awareness. It is a young recovery program of, I think it's celebrating 5 years as of the recording of this video. But Buddhism and Buddhist recovery, though Recovery Dharma, you can argue, is a very young recovery program, Buddhism and a Buddhist approach to recovery, you could actually argue, is the world's oldest, most successful, and most systematic retraining of our hearts and minds. And that is a 2,600-year-old spiritual tradition that has wealth of knowledge of books and teachers and Dharma talks to help us achieve sobriety and to free ourselves from the suffering of addiction. So if this series of videos hasn't done so already, I really hope it encourages you and inspires you to know that if you want to free yourself from the suffering of addiction, Buddhist practices and principles can and will do that. That none of us, no one lacks the ability, only the willingness to walk such a radical path of transformation. And thank you again for watching these videos. Thank you for your interest in Buddhist recovery. Thank you for your support. And thank you for forwarding this to any interested parties. And if there's anything that I can do to help you on your recovery journey, if you have questions, having watched these 7, feel free to reach out to me, and I'll try to help you out as best I can. Outside of that, have a beautiful day, you wonderful Dharma knots, and I'll see you in the next series of videos. I'm sure I'll do something in the future. Namaste. I don't think there's any more videos in the playlist. Have a good one.